Right, there we go then, all set to go. Good evening ladies and gents, welcome to Continental's Race 2 of their Formula 1 Esports series. It is Belgium and the famous track of Spa this evening. Just a little bit of background. So Continental is a fairly newly formed league with two tiers. We're focusing on Tier 1 this evening as Tier 2 doesn't get going for another week as of yet, which I will actually be participating in, so it's quite nice to be asked to participate tonight in terms of the running commentary for Tier 1's race this evening. For the drivers, well, we've only had one race so far in the season, so not much to say. The driver leading the way at the minute is, and I believe he is in the Red Bull tonight as well. Yes, he is up there and heading the Drivers' Championship on 25 points, with Callum Mitford behind on 18, TTV rated on 15, Nathan Hotspurs on 13. Hopefully he drives better than Hotspurs' team. Axpet Claps on 10 points, Dynamic on 8, Astronict on 7 points, iCrossU on 4, Steve B on 2, and Joby Rennie on 1 point, as the drivers' table stands at this moment in time. Constructors wise, Red Bull on 25 points, 3 points clear of the Mercedes on 22 after a double points finish in the last outing. Williams on 15 points, equal with Aston Martin there as it stands after the first round. Alfa Romeo on 10, Haas on 9, Ferrari on 7, and then McLaren, Alpine and AlphaTauri all waiting to get off the mark, hopefully score some valuable points today. Looking at the grid, 19 drivers loaded in, at this point, as we're just starting to ready up ahead of tonight's race. Spa circuit itself, those of you that don't know, has changed its layout many times, but the current layout is absolutely fantastic to drive around, although I'm hoping these guys get on better than I personally do on the Eau Rouge and Raidillon section of the track from turn 3 through to turn 5. Nice uphill technical part of the circuit. Track length currently stands at 7 kilometres, which is 4.35 miles. So those of you that work in old-fashioned miles. 44 laps for a standard Grand Prix. We're doing half distance tonight, which is 22 laps, and a short qualifying session of 18 minutes. In terms of wins, well, Michael Schumacher might have his son in now, who is certainly going to be wanting to win in the future, but with the current Haas is not quite able to do that at the moment. But Michael Schumacher on 6 wins for this circuit at Spa, certainly well ahead of the rest of the field. Lewis Hamilton on 4 is the current drivers leading the way, and Seb is on 3 victories as it stands. Fastest laps, well, Valtteri Bottas holds the fastest racing lap during a race day Grand Prix from 2018, a 1:46.286, and Lewis Hamilton in 2020 set a new track record with the fastest qualification lap of a 1:41.252. See how our drivers get on today and how close they can get to those particular times. Now, memorable moments, well, through the years we've had some quite spectacular races there, and some that will live in memory. All F1 fans were moved a couple of years ago, back in 2019. We did the supporting race for it, for the Formula 1 weekend, and sadly Anton Hubert, the Renault Sport Academy driver in GP3, who was the reigning champion of GP3 at the time, sadly passed away after a collision at Eau Rouge. And you'll see every year that the drivers do pay tribute. Now it looks like we've got a wet session here as well, intermediate tyres. What we're going to do is try and hold up to the first driver out on track, just try to pinpoint who that is. It looks like it is Aspect heading out first. There he is then on the intermediate tyres. Everyone will be out on the intermediates. Can't see anyone going for the wets. It is simply not wet enough on track. And we're going to ride on board as we take you through. So Aspect being the first one out on track, hopefully it will give us the first representative time of the day to see what sort of times we're looking at in wet conditions. Usually looking around 10 to 12 seconds difference from the dry on this particular circuit. If you do get within 8 seconds of your dry times, you do tend to be on the cusp of switching to the slick tyre, but certainly won't see that for this session, we don't think, as Aspect actually is having a little bit of a wobble, trying to just get to grips with the track and see where the grip is at this moment in time, exactly what the outlap is for. And looking at the track map there in the bottom right corner, looks like the majority of drivers trying to get out there early for initial lap. Hello to those of you watching this evening, nice to have you with us. Thank you for watching. Few probably haven't listened in to me before, but looking forward to it, I'm hoping. And looking at the nice intermediate conditions now, at least we're not going to cancel the race like this year's Belgian Grand Prix, where it most notably was held under safety car, 2 laps just so it could be recorded at half points. Max Verstappen in the Red Bull taking 12.5 points home, and George Russell taking his first podium in Formula 1, taking a second place in the Williams due to his absolutely outstanding performance in the qualifying session. Okay, right on board with Clapton, heading out bus stop chicane and over the start finish line to start his first flying lap down into La Source, type right-hander, and I'm sure it will get very busy into turn 1 here at the start of the Grand Prix. Hopefully all drivers keep it clean. Nice fast run down to the base of Arouge. You can see how much of a climb it is just on board as we ride on board through Radion, and what running very shallow there, and that's invalidated. Let's try and grab who is behind. It looks like it is one of the Alpha Tauris. So we're down towards the bottom. There we are. So Mojo Doms heading down the Kennel Straight then, and nice tight brake zone into Lacombe. If you just lightly ride the curb, that's nice. If you do end up riding the curb too much, it will pull you in and you'll soon find yourself in the barrier. Sector 1 yellow flags as well. It looks on the entry to Lacombe, it looks like one of the Haas drivers, but does seem to have just moved out of the way of faster cars by the looks of it. We will try and catch up with that shortly. Okay, nice double left-hander then through Pouon, and so important to get your line right. You can certainly scrub a lot of speed there if you can't quite hook it up. Very nicely taken so far. This is going to be the initial pace set. A little bit of traffic there for him to deal with, but soon gets out of the way. Well done to the drivers for getting out of the way as well as we head through Blanchimont in the final part of the sector. It is flat, but can he keep it flat on the intermediate? He can, but he has invalidated his time by doing that. Very, very unlucky. He was looking on quite a clean lap for the intermediate tyres. Let's just see what that time would have been and how representative it would be compared to everyone else at the moment. So 1:55.0. It would have been if it wasn't invalidated there. Okay, who we got coming across the line? So we've got one of the Mercedes just coming up to the line here to complete his first lap. It is Callum Mitford, 1:55.9. So 9/10 slower than we've just seen on an invalidated lap, bear in mind. But Callum was second in the last race out, so hopefully we'll see him pretty racy here. 1:54.5 there, just been registered for the Williams driver of Riri Boss. And got yellow flags absolutely everywhere. Everyone piling across the line at this moment in time. I'm Zach, where are we? Just starting a lap there, so we'll leave him to it for the time being. Who have we got off there just as we join on with Tucker? It looks like he's having a bit of an off. And yeah, yellow flags, he's probably got damage there as well, so we'll pick up with him a little while later. And another one off the track. Who is that? Orange Boom Brown. Yeah, looks like he's had a spin now. Was he starting? I think he was just finishing a lap, in fact, there. So I'm guessing he's rode the bus stop chicane a little bit too hard there, and well, he's going to need to change those tyres and go again, or if he's fueled up enough, he can certainly make another run on the intermediate tyres. Changing tyres doesn't overly help. We've got Red Bull coming through the final sector now, riding on board through the bush stop chicane with Flicks. Now this is our winner from last time out. Let's see how his first initial run looks, and it is provisional pole, 154.5 on that initial run there, 300ths of a second quicker than Riri Boss on his first initial lap there. Okie dokie, just trying to keep up with who's where at the minute. Astronix in the middle of the pack. Deborah Deegan, where is teammate? Aspects coming over the line. Have we got a validated lap this time? No, we have not. Oh no, it's just going on to a lap. Okay, he's been recharging his battery potentially on there. Let's have a little look. No, that was a flying lap in fact. Interesting. One of the Mercedes out and about as well. I can't quite see who it is. I know he's headed into the pits there. Okay, we'll join back on with him later. The other one, who else have we got on the flying lap? So we've got Astronix coming through the final sector. Let's ride and see how he gets on through the bush top chicane. Can he hook it up nicely? He certainly looks to have. Very beautifully ridden, and not putting the power down too early. What's his initial pace then? So 154.9 there for Astronix on his first initial run. Now Flicks is actually retired from the session, so it's 154.517. Let's put him into provisional pole. Is going to stand. We probably won't see any advance on that. So Hash Driver, I am Zach. That's a name certainly I've come across previously. 2 lap old tyres. I do think he's probably on in lap, so we'll try and join with someone else. We've got Orange Boom Brown on a lap at the minute, but he's only just begun his lap. His teammate, however, HFL Dommy, down in the final sector and is invalid, and in the wall almost there. Oh no, he's got no front wing. There we go. He must have had contact a little bit earlier on in this session, so we'll allow him time to get back and change. Aspect in the final sector certainly doesn't look like he's on a lap by the fact he's hovering behind Ralphus, whereas Ralphus on the timesheets at the minute. Do we think he's on a lap? No, the fact that these guys are going side by side, they're certainly not on laps at the moment. Okay, let's have a little look. We've got a lone Ferrari here. That's Astronix coming back in. I think everything is settled down. The majority have now got laps on the board. The bottom 5 there all in the pits at the minute as well, so we'll try and ride on board with Tucker, who's on an out lap at the moment. We expect him to be the next one to set a representative time. Now Nathaniel Perrin there has just fitted the soft tyre, interesting to note, so we'll keep an eye on him when he does come out, see if the track evolution is there to go onto the slick tyre at this point, or maybe it's a little bit early. But as soon as we see him head out onto an outlap, we'll just try and keep an eye out, see what his grip's like. We have got a Alfa Romeo off in the start of the third sector. That was Deborah Deegan out of this session. Orange Boom Brown also retired from the session, but I did not sadly see where that came from. So 3 out of the session already, out of the 18 drivers that are participating this evening. 15 still to go. Right, let's have a look how we're getting on. So just coming down into the bus stop chicane here for Tucker. No time on the board as it stands, so needs a nice clean lap. We're going to ride on board with the Williams driver for this lap. Nice and clean so far. Heading through the hairpin then at Sector 2. Rivage, very famous part of the track and has evolved over the years through different track layouts, and just a little bit too late on the brakes there, but managing to keep it, and track limits have not been applied on that occasion. Trying to carry the speed through the double left-hander there as we head into the end of sector 2. What we're looking at time-wise, yellow flag sector 1. Oh, and that, oh, he didn't get done for track limits again. Really is pushing the boundaries of the circuit at the minute. Tucking out into the final sector. It looks like he's got company behind of a Mercedes. Now, he can't impede him because he is on a hot lap, but I do think Callum behind is on absolute flying lap at the minute as they head down into the bus stop chicane. Hopefully won't impede the Mercedes driver. Right on track limits then, and as he comes across the line, what is his initial time? It's actually been scrubbed there. Interesting. Callum Mitford is he going on to another lap? No, he isn't. I don't know quite what's happened there. Took his time, didn't go on. It didn't show us invalidated. Very, very odd indeed. Okay. For the time being then, let's see who is out and about on the lap. So we've got the only remaining McLaren heading out for a hot lap. Diego there as well on his out lap. Okay, so our provisional pole sit 1:54.2. I do apologise, Ralphless. I did not see your time initially pop up there. Well done on that time. That is 3/10 quicker than anyone else so far at this point. Now, let's keep an eye on I Am Zach. He has head out on the soft tyres there. How is he looking on his outlap? Well, he hasn't put a lot of load into the tyres yet. He is a reduced speed, so we'll just have to keep an eye on him and see how we get on. He is certainly not the only one to do so. MC Gamer looking to go out on the medium tyre, Nathaniel looking to go out on the softs, and Miffy Scrobe looking to go out on the soft tyre as well. They are still in the pits, them three though. But I'm Zach. We'll pick up with a little bit later on. There are a few on flying laps at the moment. Aspects is on a flyer, so let's see what he's up to at the minute. It is invalidated lap, so we'll come back to him. Not having much luck in the way of validations at the moment. Callum Mitford is still out there, looks to be on a flyer. Again, it's an invalidated lap. There's a lot of invalidations around here and a lot of corners to do it on. So these guys really trying to push the limits. In fact, these guys that are on the intermediates, if they've now seen others that are on the soft tyres, I wonder if they are looking to switch tyres. I'm Zach is back in the pits, so maybe he's not feeling it on those tyres just yet, and it looks like he's struggling even on the entry to the pit lane there. Okay, Diego, is that towards the back end of the lap? No, mid-lap? Yes, it is. We've got the McLaren just in front, so we'll ride on board with Dommy first. Going through the third sector then, and it looks like he's backed out of it. Yeah, he's got track limits on that, so I wonder if he's going to go for another hot lap now on the bounce. Diego then in the Aston Martin coming down to bus stop chicane as well. Keep an eye if he can keep this last sector clear. It is a little bit deep into bus stop. Managed to correct it though on the back end. Certainly won't help his time, however. Where's this put him? It puts him at 1:55.8. It just pops him up inside the top 10 for the time being. I'm sure we'll see some improvements coming very, very shortly indeed. Okay, so Tiran in the Alpine now, looking to go out on the soft tyres. Let's see how he gets on his out lap. No one else on a hot lap at the minute. Diego and Tommy we expect to be on in laps as we speak. See, he's been very, very tentative here on his outlap. Tiran, who's that flying past? Diego, he is on in the lap anyway. So that's not an issue, but he's having to really be tentative in and out of these corners. It's like he's just tickling the throttle here, and surely this can't be sustainable for tonight's race. Yeah, you can hear 5th gear. You normally head around here in the dry in 7th gear, really pushing and carrying your speed through, but you're just not able to do that at the minute on the soft tyre. As you see, majority on outlaps, 1 minute 57 left in the session. Outlap here does take around 2 minutes 15, so these drivers really got to get a shift on to get around the track in time. It looks like Tucker at the back of the field. Is it Tucker at the back? Yeah, it looks like Tucker at the back at the minute. Riri Boss has just left the pit lane. He won't make it around in time. I don't know whether that's a misjudgment on his part. Okay then, so Tiran is going to go for a hot lap on the soft tyre. Let's see what he can do. He has got DRS as he's on the soft tyre. Has he just been taking it tentatively? Well, now's the time to find out. Really tentative, struggling to hook it up into La Source, but seems to get on the power well. Not too much wheel spin at La Source. Heading down to Eau Rouge. Can he carry the speed through Eau Rouge with these slippery conditions? Just about. Very nicely done. Had to have a little correction there in the middle. DRS wide open as we head down the Kennel Straight to Le Com. Will he get the braking just right? Oh, a little bit tentative on the braking, a little bit early on the braking there as well, but to be expected on slick tyres in these interchangeable conditions, using all of the curb available. Let's head down into Rivage, and again very, very tentative on these corners. Nicely done to keep it in track limits. Most important thing right now, 1:59.3. Certainly leaving him slowest on the times at the minute as we head round the double left-hander at Pouon. Yellow flags ahead as well, certainly not ideal for him. As we had an off, it was Dommy in the McLaren had a slight off, but he's back going again now. Okay then, as they come across the line, we will try and catch them. How is this lap for Tyranny? It is... well, it's not look. It's quicker than what he's done so far. So 1:55.6 puts him up to 11th place for the time being. Next to come across the line, he's only just entered Sector 3, in fact, is Callum Mitford. Runner-up last time out, and in fact he has completely backed off and bailed out of this lap. Next up then is the Alpha Tauri of Ralphless. He is on the soft tyre now. He has set a 54.2 provisional pole on the intermediates, and he's in fact just gone fastest in the second sector as we pick him up here. So we'll ride on board through the final sector, see if he can improve that time, give him a little bit margin at the top of the table. This is looking very quick indeed at the bus stop chicane. Opens DRS over the line. It's a 48.957. That is provisional pole, and that is in a new league to what we've got at the minute. I am Zach coming across a 1:51.6, just pipped by Dynamic, his teammate. And Nathaniel Perrin, a 1:48.7, another 2/10 clear there for the Red Bull driver. Who else have we got coming across the line then? The Aston Martin has bailed out. Astronix has invalidated his lap. The Ferrari of MC Gamer over the line of 1:54.8 is as good as he can get this evening. Callum Mitford just strolling across the line then, and I think that is all drivers over the line. Yeah, we're just waiting there on a few drivers to be pushed back into the pits. No one else improving. There we are then, Nathaniel stealing away pole position of 1:48.720 at the very last moment. Waiting as late as possible there on the soft tyres. Raffles just missing out. It's 2/10 shy at the top of the standings there, and the slick tyre certainly came into its own in the latter part of qualifying, and those that did hang it out for the slick tyres certainly making way there. So Nathaniel in the Red Bull taking pole position from the sister team in P2, just 2/10 back. Then a quite big gap to Dynamic in third place, 2.5 seconds back in fact. It's quite a chunky gap. That's real life Haas to Red Bull territory. I am Zach in fourth, so good result there for Haas in third and fourth place to start this Grand Prix. Red Bull in fifth place with Flicks winning last time out. So Red Bull poised first and fifth, so good placing for them. And as we see down the rest of the order then, as we head into the back part, just aspects there. Mojo not managing to get a time on the board, sadly, for this qualification session, so they will start at the back of the grid. For anyone watching, we would normally run this session at 6:30 on a Sunday. Both Tier 1 and Tier 2 run side by side. However, due to this Tier 2 runs at 6:30, Tier 1 normally runs at 8 PM, but due to the Mexican Grand Prix this evening, which will be live later on, we are running this session earlier today as a one-off. Obviously, everyone taking part does have a massive passion for F1. That is what we're here for. Okay, so you can see the timer counting down at the top of the screen. The drivers just getting the opportunity to look at their strategy for this evening's free. Obviously, half distance, we expect just a one-stop race. There is one compulsory stop available. However, if there is safety cars, there is a good opportunity for a two-stop, especially those that are starting on the soft compound of tyre. So, formation lap as the drivers all head around, and we'll give them a minute to just get their tyres in a window that they fancy. We have actually got another driver there, just joined us as well. Gagger down at the bottom in 19th is in a Mercedes. We have had a second Mercedes actually join during the back end of that session, surely, that wasn't registered for qualifying, that will be in the race. So Mercedes just 3 points behind Red Bull in the Constructors going into this particular race. Certainly got some work to do based on qualifying, but we'll see how they get on. And Deborah Deegan and Tiran there both getting disqualified from session. Normally that happens from tripping over each other on the formation lap. Don't worry, they've just been disqualified for the formation lap, not for the race. However, they do have a little bit of a penalty to themselves now. Not only are they disqualified from formation lap, which doesn't look great on your driver's record, however, it does mean you will start on stone cold tyres as well. See Nathaniel there in the lead car, running number 27 out front. As he just brings the pack round at any pace he fancies. There's an Aston Martin right down the back of Diego, who's fallen off the back of the pack. So with these guys at the front, are going to have quite some time to wait. The longer they wait, the cooler their tyres do get. And just hoping that we do get a clean run into the first few corners. So yeah, turn one here is notorious for incidents, but there is quite a large runoff to the outside of the track. Normally salvages a little bit of mayhem. However, how many of these drivers are going to try and go side by side through a rouge? Who's brave enough to try and go around the outside and then not get pinched to the inside of Radion? Well, give it a few moments and we shall see, as we see the drivers come back round onto the grid to form up for race 2 of the Continental 2021 Esports F1 Series. There we are then. So we're going to pick a position and stick with it for the start of this Grand Prix. Just waiting for the final cars to take their positions then. There we are then. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Lights out and away we go. Good start at the front of the grid. A brilliant start there by Flicks from second place. And are we going to have a Red Bull 1-2 going into the exit of the first turn? Everyone fairly tidy there through turns 1. The Haas driver Dynamic coming back at the AlphaTauri. Are they going to hook it up and behave? Yes, they are. Now, we have actually got Ralphus there ghosted, which is quite interesting to see. Two Red Bulls and the Haas there going side by side at the front of the field. Who's going to make the late dive? Oh, nearly a little bit of contact there. And we've got a few drivers ghosted. Callum Mitford there, 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits, went straight on at the chicane. So Red Bull 1 and 2 as it stands at this moment in time then. Quite interested to find out why we've got so many ghosted cars on the track. But Flicks there taking the lead of the Grand Prix with a brilliant start, up 4 places. Mojo up 9 places into 9th place from towards the back of the grid. Gaga up 9 places from last place. And in fact, as we say that, up 10 places as he takes Mojo. Okay, let's see where we've got battles on track. Deborah Dean, multiple time penalties for exceeding track limits, already picking up a 3-second time penalty. That's quite intrusive. Everyone seems to be running at the minute. We'll try and get a rundown very shortly. Astronix seems to be on the charge at the moment, up 4 places as he's hunting down a podium position, I'm sure. Can he get the slipstream there off I'm Zach? No, he can't quite get in the slipstream. Obviously no DRS for the first couple of laps. And gets I'm Zach there, but virtual safety car, who's that? Mojo is out of the race at Bush Stop Chicane, as we've got Ralphus and Callum Mitford both in the pits. Callum Mitford there serving his 5-second penalty for taking evasive action earlier at Lecom. There we go. So the AlphaTauri driver definitely getting away earlier than the Mercedes there. I'm wondering if they got caught up and involved in a little bit of drama with Mojo. Would have meant both AlphaTauris in that. So one AlphaTauri out, one at the back of the grid. When will the safety car come away and track go green? Track has gone green. There we are. Okay, who is going to challenge? So Red Bull 1 and 2. Nathaniel, who started on pole, the second of those 2 drivers. So what pressure we got? I am Zach there in the Haas, looking pretty racy, going around the inside of Rory Boss, who's going to be later on the brakes, and that is a little bit naughty there. Rory Boss, who is actually ghosted. He's another one of these ghosted drivers. It's just very, very odd. It might just be my screen, and if so, I do apologise, ladies and gents. But Astronix has managed to get past I'm Zach as he got caught up there. Another DNF there, MC Gamer. What happened there? He has gone off at the start of Sector 3, and as we ride on board with Tucker there as well, taking his front wing off. Does it look like? Has he? No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. He's taken an end plate off there. So we'll see Tucker into the pits as well. There is so much going on at the start of this Grand Prix. It's hard to keep up with. Callum Mitford there off the track as well. Certainly not how he wanted to start his Grand Prix. From second place in the last Grand Prix to the back of the grid in this one. Okay then. So what battles have we got on track? East Grove in the Aston Martin then closing down the gap to the Haas driver. Let's ride on board. So they head down Kennel Straight. Is DRS enabled yet? No, it's not. Quite surprised. I thought it would be, what, lap 3? It might be another lap. Oh no, we're under VSC. I do apologise. and that looks like Callum Mitford also out of the race. Disappointment for the Mercedes driver, and certainly not going to help Mercedes in their quest to catch Red Bull in the constructors' standings. Red Bull 1 and 2 at the minute. If they come away with that and 43 points and potentially 44 points, then get fastest lap in there as well, they're going to be starting to run away with it a little bit already at this early part of the season. So then pit stops there for the bottom 3. DRS enabled as well. So looking at the tyre strategy at the minute, I'm Zach in 5th place right now, trying to go long on the medium tyre, as is Aspects, as is Deborah Deegan. So both the Alfa Romeo drivers are taking the medium tyre. The Aston Martin driver trying to get down the inside and have a little look at the Haas, but he can't quite do it at the minute. Nathaniel in the Red Bull is out of this Grand Prix. From pole position to being out on lap 3 of the Grand Prix, that is not good news for the Red Bull driver. So one Red Bull left in it, evens things up with the Mercedes, I suppose, but the other Mercedes driver there of Gagad is down in 14th at the minute, so not really representative and not scoring any points at the minute. DRS is going to look down the inside of Isaac. He's late on the brakes, but there you go. Zach just giving him enough room, but had the squeeze on, and off he goes again. He will get another look on the Kennel Straight, as we have the McLaren there of Domi just closing in on Aspects. Can he do anything through a rouge? He's going to hang on there. He will pick up the DRS and slipstream. Should be a very simplistic pass, and yeah, it's certainly going to be done a long way before they break into Le Comte. Can the Alfa Romeo come back? No, he can't. He's just got to bail out there, and that is a place gone for the time being. Now, he has backed off that much, and he was squeezed through there. It's allowed Diego in the other Aston Martin to close that gap. Pass further up the field as Zach gets passed by Eastgrove and Orange Boom. He seems to be going down the order there. I don't know quite what's happened. He's had a spin, in fact. There we are. So he has spun around on track, heading down the order. There are cars absolutely everywhere on this track. What is going on, guys? I mean, I haven't seen anything overly aggressive, but trying to keep on board. So, okay, Aspects is there in 7th place then. And no, he's going for a little bit of a trip over the runoff as he tries to battle with the McLaren of Domi. And they're all heading down into bus stop chicane. Who's going to get the run? They are going to get DRS as Domi bails there for the pit lane. And Aspects is released up into 5th place. Obviously does have a time penalty in there as well, 3-second time penalty as it stands. Quite a few starting to pick track limits penalties up. Just on lap 5 at the moment as well. So very early indeed for these guys to be picking up penalties. Gagad in the one remaining Mercedes going fastest, 1:46 there. So we'll see how that time starts to tumble as the fuel load is burnt off. Now then, we've had the AlphaTauri Ralphs come in and fit the hard tyre. Deborah Deegan fit the hard, and Domi fit the hard tyres. They are looking to go to the end of this Grand Prix and go long on this second stint. I am Zach also into the pits. Is he going to do exactly the same at this point? I'd certainly expect he will. Well, right then, what we've got, Diego just closing up to the back of Aspects then is the closest battle on track at this minute as the field have started to settle down for the time being. We've got a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2. It is one of the McLarens. Let me have a look. It is Domi there who's just come out of the pits, and the wheel is off the McLaren. The McLaren is out of this Grand Prix. That is just after it's the exit of Le Comte. I was going to see Tucker go through, and I am Zach go through there now. But yeah, collision with the barrier there for Domi, and out of this Grand Prix. We've lost 5 drivers in 5 laps. We're dropping drivers. We'll not continue. Okay, what we've got? So we've got 6 tenths for Astronix to Ralphus here. Astronix is on the soft tyre though, so we expect him to close at quite a rate of knots. If he can stay inside that 1 second window as well, that will certainly help him get DRS up the start-finish straight. There he is. He's going to open DRS and hopefully just bring him into contention a little bit further as Tyranny heads into the pits in the Alpine. And again onto the hard tyre there. No one really stopping for medium at the minute other than Dynamic, who has stopped for the medium tyre. I think that's a little bit early unless he's looking for a 2-stop onto another set of softs at the end of this Grand Prix. Astronix then has got DRS in the slipstream as well. He's going to be trying it before the braking zone here on the AlphaTauri. No, he's going to have to brake late, and he certainly does that. Can he hook it up and keep position? Very fair play to both drivers there. Really good pass there by Astronix as he jumps up into 8th place, and safety car is deployed at that point. So a great time to do it. Now those that have not already pitted then, I expect to see them into the pits. The top 6 drivers have not pitted yet. Will anyone else jump into the pit lane at this point? Anyone with soft tyres surely will jump in now for hards. Aspects on the medium, will he stay out and take track position? Personally I'd stay out and take track position actually. So he's got a little bit of complaining to do there. The hard tyre runners of Raflus and Deborah down in 9th, 10th there will jump up to around 3rd or 4th if they do stay out on those tyres. Surely they'd wait for a late safety car and certainly not change their tyres at this point. It would be well, certainly not worth it. Flicks there in the lone Red Bull as pit onto the mediums. Does he think he'd take him the distance? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. In fact, the majority there looking like they are going on to the medium tyre. Riri Boss, East Grove, the other Aston Martin there, Diego, lost out a little bit because he got double stacked by his teammate who went in ahead. Diego leaving the pits on mediums. Now, Gaga pit and he's come out on the hard tyres, so he's not thinking the medium's going to go to the end, or he's not fancying a 2-stop for this evening's Grand Prix. It is in fact his 2nd stop I believe anyway, but yes it is. Yeah, there's confirmation. Okay, so as things just settle down and people start to head to the safety car and catch the safety car, so interval leader then is the McLaren of Orange Boom Brown. So we haven't actually heard much about him in this race. A little bit of an underdog to be in that position at the minute. Now he hasn't actually stopped, he is on soft tyres, so will he come in at the end of this lap? Maybe he was just trying to take his soft tyres a lap later, give him 1 lap advantage on the tyres he does choose. Maybe the mediums he'll try to the end with the majority. Let's see if he boxes in. Where is he at the minute? He's just coming up to the bus stop chicane, and yeah, there he is, peeling into the pit lane. Aspects then, will we see him into the pits? Well, if he does, he'd have to go onto the hard tyre. He can't run the medium tyre again. He would certainly put himself to a 2-stop if he did. No, he's definitely going to stay out and take track position as we first suspected. Certainly makes a lot of sense. Certainly to me, and seems to him as well. So hopefully it will pay off when he does change to the harder tyre later on in this Grand Prix. Flicks retakes 2nd place. So started in 5th place and jumped up to 2nd. He was our winner last time out on 25 points. So leading the drivers and constructors standards at the minute, and looking good to extend both of those leads this evening, as Callum Mitford, who finished 2nd last time, is out of this race, which is the Mercedes, who are 3 points behind in constructors, and their lone runner at the minute is down in 8th place. However, that Mercedes has already stopped on the hard tyre and will go to the end. Aspects there just picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. So looking at time penalties, Aspects in the lead at the Grand Prix at the minute, still yet to stop with 6 seconds of time penalties, so he's going to be hoping for a late safety car to replicate that and change that. Flicks in second place that we're riding on board with at the minute as we close the field up. Started 5th up to 2nd place, winner last time out, looking poised very, very nicely indeed. Is he on new tyres? Yes, he is as well. The Aston Martin there in 3rd place as well on fresh medium tyres, as is the McLaren in 4th. Rory Boss there in 5th place in the Williams on fresh tyres with 3 seconds of time penalties. Deborah Deegan in 6th, 6 seconds time penalties, and 3 lap old hard tyres certainly should see her through to the end there. The Mercedes driver on the new hard in 7th place then, 3 time penalties. However, due to those around, if you can keep it clean, certainly could get up the order towards the back end of this race. If he can't get eaten alive by those medium runners behind on the restart, he could be alright. Deborah Deegan come into the pits in the Alfa Romeo again. Are we looking for a fresh set of mediums that she's going to switch on to here? Let's ride on board and have a little look. Yeah, that is it. That is the yellow walled soft medium tyres, apologies, going on the car as release. So thinking now's a good time to go on to the medium to the end. I'd agree with that. I think those that pit around lap 6, 7, they're going to be struggling a little bit to get to the end. But lap 9, yeah, seems a sensible call. I'm Zach there. Right, this is the one that's really, really confusing me, and if he can give me some answers, that would be fantastic. But just jumped onto a new set of soft tyres, so definitely going to have to pit again. You can only get soft tyre around 7-8 laps around this circuit. Very, very heavy on the tyres wear, and run down 11th outside the points. And, well, personally, without 2 retirements, I can't see him getting it back inside the points. So we'll keep an eye out and see. He has got no penalties, however, which will go in his favour. Not many drivers out there without penalties now. Yeah, Flicks, Eastgrove, Orange Boom Brown, and I'm Zach, the only drivers. Oh, and Ralphless there, apologies, in the middle there, with no penalties as it stands. So, only driver yet to stop is Aspects, who is leading the Grand Prix. Obviously, all bunching up behind the safety car. As we can see there, Tucker is quite some way behind the field at this moment in time, though. So, we will probably see it around for at least one more lap. As Tucker drops it under the safety car and takes himself out of the Grand Prix. Good time to be riding on board there, but wow, I've never seen someone drop it under the safety car in quite that fashion on the new tyres. But that is the Williams driver out of this Grand Prix, and down to 11. That is now 8 drivers out of the Grand Prix in 9 laps. Yeah, wow, I haven't got any more words for that. Anyone else wants to comment in tonight, please feel free. There is the live chat bar there. I am keeping an eye on it if anyone is wanting to put your opinions, or if anyone wants to predict a winner for tonight. Personally, I would say Flicks is looking good for a back-to-back victory here, but I'm not going to count anyone out at this stage of the Grand Prix. I really do think it could come down to where penalties sit at the end of the Grand Prix. We'll just give these drivers a minute as they're going to try and nurse their tyres as best as possible while trying to balance the act and keep them in the tyre temperature window ready for the restart. Obviously, when the safety car lights go off, safety car will be in this lap. It won't be called until around turn 16, which is Blanchiment, the long left-hander in sector 3 that you can see on the bottom right corner of the map there. There we go, nice clear screen for the time being. Need for Speed Racing saying he's going well. Yeah, to be fair, everyone in it is doing well compared to the 8 drivers that we've had drop out so far. And to be honest, I'm just trying to look at what we've got. We've got 2 Aston Martins, 2 Alfa Romeos. That is it in terms of double constructors. Every other team has had a driver that will now not score this evening. So almost every team now going to be picking up points this evening. And safety car in this lap then. So we see a lot of weaving around as the drivers try and keep their tyres in that window, get them optimum. Aspects will now take the pace of the field and get the opportunity to choose when to put the power down. There we are. Flick's just trying to show himself in the mirrors of Aspects, say hello, I am here, I'm ready to pounce, and he's on the new tyres there as well. How late is he going to leave it as they head through the final corner? He's still waiting. He's going to take it all the way to the line. He has now gone. They're using ERS there as well for Flicks as he heads down. He's going to try it on the brakes down the inside into turn 1. Can he hook it up? Can he get the drive off the exit? He certainly can. Can he keep it in line? Just about getting it in track limits there without taking it into the wall. And play nicely, boys, up the track. Oh dear, what has happened there? And Aspects there got pushed offline a little bit onto the curb as he took to the curb there, has lost all traction, and well, he was a little bit of passenger there into a Rouge where we saw Antoine Hubert in 2019 sadly pass. But that is Aspects out of the lead of the Grand Prix and out of this race. Just one remaining Alfa Romeo, then down in 6th place for the time being. So the battle continues through all that. Flicks actually ended up getting dropped back down to 7th as Riri Boss took full advantage of everything happening up front and took the lead of the Grand Prix. Eastgrove just sitting peacefully there in 3rd place as we speak, and well, this top dynamic going to go on. Deborah Deegan there, don't know quite what's happened. Looks like maybe a little bit of a spin or a little bit of an off, but dropping 3 places there, down to 9th place now as we see this league battle start to intensify now. We're now at half distance, and my oh my, what a race we've had. We've dropped half the drivers so far through instance of sorts. I am Zach on those soft tyres, really making a trek on, and he's pushing again here on the back of the Aston Martin now. Obviously he's going to have to stop again, unlike the majority of drivers. Is he going to be waiting for another safety car and trying to take advantage? He's not going to go just yet, but he's going to try and take the DRS. Diego into the pits. I'm Zach into the pits as well. Have those guys come together and had a incident? I don't know, not heard anything, not seen any yellow flags, but we'll join back on that in shortly. Need for Speed, thank you on the compliment. Honestly, I'm trying to keep up with all the action tonight, which is proving quite difficult with so much going on the track. We see the Aston Martin driver of Eastgrove here in range in slipstream of Flicks, not quite able to do it without the DRS assistance on this particular lap though, keeping it hooked up and very close to the Red Bull driver as the drivers both close in on Riri Boss there in the lead of the Grand Prix. They're all on 4-lap old medium tyres, so they're all going to be relatively the same in terms of tyre wear as well, so it is a race to the end and it is going to be down to pure racing. Astonix there also retiring from this Grand Prix. It looks to be at Radion, it is, and out of the Grand Prix, down to 9 drivers then. Both Ferraris now failing to score this evening, and safety car is deployed. That's a little bit of a kick in the teeth to I'm Zach, who could have stayed out an extra lap, but obviously not to know that that safety car was going to be deployed at that point. Certainly brings them close to the pack though, and well, it is going to be a sprint to the end. Expect to see some of these guys head in for fresh tyres for the final time. I'd say the Mercedes there of Gaga on the hard certainly needs to box for medium tyres now. Maybe you might try and go a lap and then pit for the softs. Let's have a, no, the field would be too bunched up. Okay, Riri Boss there in from the lead of this Grand Prix. Is he going to switch the soft tyre? We'll keep an eye out. And see in a moment who else is going to head into the pits. Gaga stays out. Deborah heads into the pits. Will the McLaren driver head into the pit lane as well? Rory Boss does come out on a set of soft tyres. No, McLaren going to stay out, as is Zach there in the Haas. And just Diego to go. Yeah, he's also going to stay out there. So we've got a little bit of spread of strategy now then. So top three all on used medium tyres. We've got Gaga in 4th place in the Mercedes on new set of hard tyres. Now they can go to the end of the race. They will be in a better shape than the lead 3 medium runners at the moment as well, in the last 3 or 4 laps of the Grand Prix, if he can hang on with their pace. You have now got Rory Boss though, however, behind him there in the Williams with soft tyres on, so he is going to be pretty rapid at the start of this Grand Prix. He's going to want this safety car to stay out as long as possible to keep those soft tyres alive for the restart and for the remainder of the Grand Prix. So McLaren driver of orange boom brown there, 1 lap old medium tyres. Deborah Deegan on 4 lap old mediums has headed into the pits to actually put them on. So I don't know how many pit stops we've seen the Alfa Romeo driver have. Let's have a little look how many stops we have had. Yeah, 3 stops there, so we'll switch back onto those. I think that's the same set that were started the Grand Prix on. Let's know both Alfa Romeos did start on it. Pit for no reason. Yeah, well, we all have a reason. Maybe you don't want to share it at this point. So through all of that, we've now got... Why would they have... They've stopped the soft tyre as well. Well, that's really odd. So Flick stopped for the soft tyre. That's understandable. What is now confusing me is the fact that Ravlis has stopped for a new set of the mediums and not for the soft tyres. Unless he's used all 3 sets of softs during qualifying. Fine. Flick's there, 3-second time penalty as he goes up through Eau Rouge on his way back to the front of the safety car queue. So, current leader East Grove in the Aston Martin, 6 lap old medium tyres. Will he be able to utilise the Mercedes behind, keep him behind and use him as a little bit of a road blockage to those soft tyre runners? Well, we'll certainly see in a few moments' time. Looking at the pack as well, I'd expect the track to go green and safety car in at the end of this lap, as we see the Aston Martin in the back there of Diego starting to close up. The only team that can possibly get a double point finish now is the Aston Martin duo, which are running first and last place, last being 9th as it stands. Wow, I'm getting a dry throat tonight. There has just been so much action going on from top to bottom. Okay, so penalty-wise, our leader hasn't got any penalties, so that could come into play at the end as well if he does have to give up position. Next 3 drivers, so both those drivers on the soft tyres, Rory Boss and Flicks, both have 3-second penalties as it stands as well. Ralphless in 5th place, no penalties and fresh medium tyres, so yeah, if he can sort of get pulled through with DRS when it does come available after a couple of laps, he could be in a very pretty place there if he can follow him through the field. Is safety car going to be called in last minute? It is going to be very last now, but everyone is bunched up. It doesn't look like it's getting called in. And no, I'm actually shocked it's staying out for another lap. Those guys on the soft tyres then are going to be quite glad to see it stay out there. As we see Eastgrove come into the pits, which is going to drop to the back of the field because the field was... Oh no, he's not coming to the pits. He just got overtaken slightly by... Okay, not 100% sure what happened there. We'll go with it. I was thinking it was a very, very strange call indeed. Diego's jumped back into the pits to fit a new set of soft tyres. There we go. So he will rejoin just about in time, I would have thought. And these guys get a little bit closer for comfort. Obviously, they can cause damage to each other if they do end up causing a collision under safety car. So yeah, leaving a little bit more room now. That's more like it. Yeah, we have seen you've got penalties there, 9 seconds penalties. Sadly, a little bit unlucky, but is the way it goes. I mean, those tyres, well, 5-lap-old mediums. To be fair, those around you are also on used medium tyres. Diego on the softs at the back of the grid. If you can cross the line, you are going to score points. At worst, it is 2 points tonight you will score if you can finish the Grand Prix. So think of it that way. You're certainly in line for a points finish. Okay, so just waiting for the racing to get going again. Now, I think this will be a pretty early call. Everyone's going to know that the safety car will be in on this occasion. So we're just waiting for the official statement from race control to say that the safety car is in. There we are then. So confirmation from race control, safety car in this lap. So we've got a whole sector still to go, but the safety car will start to pull away. And the Aston Martin of Eastgrove there will take the pace of the field, although he's sticking right to the back of that safety car at the moment. When's he going to start backing the field up? He needs to back him up pretty soon to let the safety car go into the pits. So almost going to have a rolling start here, because it's as if he hasn't actually led under a safety car before. There you go, he's completely backed out of it into the bus stop chicane. And straight on the power on the exit, he has made the break. And Gaga's caught napping there as he passed by Ruri and flicks into turn 1 they go. Ruri Boss getting around the outside, and flips in around there, not quite the room. Now Flix was right on the edge of the track there. Maybe he really should have given him a little bit more space there. So Ruri Boss down to the back of the field, and Raffles there picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. Flix now then in the Red Bull, chasing down for the victory. Soft tyres to the end against 8-lap-old medium tyres. There's really no competition if he can get a nice run on the Aston Martin driver. A little bit of change of position behind. Raffles getting through past the Mercedes. Obviously tyre advantage there as well. And the Mercedes driver there going down and down. What has happened back there? I think it is the fact of the tyre being slower. Deborah there up to 5th place in the Alfa Romeo as well. And closing again, looking towards past 3-way little tussle here for 4th place. And can go down to the inside, not quite. 3-second time penalty again, that's up to 12 seconds there for the Alfa Romeo driver on penalties. Certainly got some work to do to get some distance between her and the cars behind, so she isn't overtaken on the line as Diego passes. And this is so tight, this little battle here. Great to ride on board. We'll ride on board from the back, and that McLaren driver causing atrocious. We just caught it at the right time. Hopefully the Alfa Romeo can spin round and keep going. Definitely the cause of that orange boom brown, and that will go to the stewards. I'm sure there'll be hefty penalties coming that way, not only taking a drive, well, taking themselves out the Grand Prix, but that's just destroyed an absolutely fantastic battle there. And that is really unlucky for Diego and Deborah there being caught up in that. Certainly not at fault. And I'll have a little word with the race stewards later on. Okay, so battle for the lead now closing up as well. Flix has retaken the lead from Eastgrove. He has got the tyre advantage, so expect to see him pull away. Now he has got time penalties there as well, so he's got 3 seconds to try and pull, which I'm sure he'll be able to do. The Aston Martin driver there sticking with him because it is the safety car period, but on the restart hopefully he'll pull away. Now the disadvantage he's at is Will everyone else come in for soft tyres to the end of this Grand Prix now? With just 5 laps to go, it's probably going to be a 2 or 3 lap sprint to the end. Well, this race certainly hasn't given us time to sit back and have a look at the standings as much with the action. So, started with 19 drivers, dropped 11 drivers, down to 8 now, so yeah, everyone looking to go in for tyres, or is anyone going to stick out there and take track position? Flick's in the lead Red Bull there. I would expect to stay out, but surely the Aston Martin needs to come in for tyres, and anyone on the medium tyres surely needs to pit in at this point for the soft. Gaga on the medium there, but it is fresh mediums. I suppose it is worth staying out and taking track position, as all of those in front will probably pit. There we go, Eastgrove into the pits in the Aston Martin. Ralphless stays out. Rory Boss staying out on those. Zach actually opting to take track position. Fair enough, okay. Will come under a little bit of pressure then from the Aston Martins behind, both of them on fresh soft tyres. Aston Martin looking for a brilliant double points finish here for the team then, and for the constructors. At the minute they're joined on 15 points with the Williams. Now Williams have not got a car in, no, my apologies, they have got a car in 3rd place in Rory Boss at the minute, but 1 car against 2 Aston Martins. Aston Martin might just take the edge and take 3rd place in constructors tonight. And in fact, with where the Mercedes is sat, they could potentially take 2nd from Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship and go chasing after the Red Bulls, as just the 1 remaining Red Bull in this Grand Prix. Wow, I'm ready for a drink break at the end of this. 5 laps to go, including the lap we are on. Obviously, we have still yet to catch the safety car and then bunch up the field as well. So, lap 19. I would say at the end of lap 20, we'll see the safety car in with just 2 laps of racing to go. It will be a sprint finish for the back end of this Grand Prix. And Gaga there in the Mercedes getting a 3-second time penalty for his troubles on the safety car. Not going to help him. Now, penalties really are going to come into effect now with the pack being so closely bunched up after the safety car. When the safety car is released, see the leaders just getting on the back of the safety car now then, as Flick's there picking up the safety car. That's very odd. Flick's going straight past the safety car. Interesting. Not entirely sure why they've just continued straight past safety car, but we'll go with that. They're literally at the speeds that, well, you'd say they're racing almost. Which is just bizarre. Yeah, let's just keep an eye on these penalties. And I see another one there for Eastgrove in the Aston Martin. Leader of the 2 Aston Martin drivers at the minute in 5th place. I'm really unsure why we didn't pick up the safety car on that particular lap. Maybe it's a in-game error, but something I've not seen before, the fact that the leader can drive straight past the safety car when it's out there. So certainly not bunching a pack up at all. So looking at the times at the minute, with the 3-second time differences for the top 3, and I'm Zach in the hat being 14 seconds behind, the top 3 would in fact stay exactly as they are, which would be Flicks taking the win, Ralphless taking second place in the sister team of the AlphaTauri, and Rory Bosso and the Williams in third. However, surely they're meant to be taking... Yeah, there we go. They are now picking up the safety car. I'm still unsure why they didn't pick up the safety car on the first time round, but there we go. They have picked it up now. It is lap 20. It will be a one-lap shootout to the checkered flag then, and this means I am Zach there with no time penalties whatsoever is looking poised to take race victory tonight. Eastgrove there on 3 time penalties. Diego and Gaga just changing positions, which they shouldn't be doing under safety car, so I expect that to switch back. There we go, switch back as well. So yeah, very, very interesting indeed. Diego does need to pull 3 seconds on Gaga on the final lap or 2 of this Grand Prix. Otherwise he will drop behind on time penalties. And then we've got Deborah in the Alfa Romeo at the back in 8th place, still picking up 4 points, which is crucial over a course of a season. Gaga has retired from the session. Let's jump down to the back of the field, where we're at double left-hander there then of Pouon, and see the stricken Alfa Romeo on sorry, apologies, stricken Mercedes on the outside there. So the Alfa Romeo driver going to be picking up 6 points tonight, even better, and safety car will be in this lap. Not early enough for... Will the Alfa Romeo driver join the back of the queue? Yes, they will, but certainly with the amount of penalties, if they can get past the Aston Martin of Diego, it might be worth doing. If they pick up another penalty for Aston Martin there, Diego could find himself fighting for track position. And Flicks once again then takes the pace of the Grand Prix. These drivers all waiting. When is he going to put the power down on this final restart of the evening? 2-lap sprint to the end. And there we go. He has now gone, put the power down, and the AlphaTauri there caught napping under pressure from the Williams driver into turn 1. No one making a move as such at the minute. Rory Boss there getting a great exit as he takes second place. Will they keep it clean through Eau Rouge? They do keep it clean through Eau Rouge, and now coming under pressure from Eastgrove in the Aston Martin. Let's ride on board. Can he do anything? Will he be late on the brakes? Will he go for a dive? No, he won't. He's going to play it very, very sensible. He is quite happy picking up 4th place and doesn't want to risk losing that position this evening. Okay, is AFK from the game, however there yeah, he is AFK, so he will automatically lose that position at the end of the race anyway, so Alfa Romeo driver can gain another place at the end of this Grand Prix and take 6th place, which will be 8 points actually, so doing very, very well indeed. Sometimes consistency is key just towards the back end and can be very, very important points in the championship. Alfa Romeo only on 10 points at the minute, so certainly gives them a good boost. McLaren going to score no points yet again. Alpine no points yet again. And AlphaTauri will be their first points of the season if Ralphless can keep it going till the end of the race. 15 points on 4 at this moment in time. Rory Boss fastest lap of 1:45.3 as we enter the final lap of this Grand Prix. The Aston Martin of Eastgrove going wheel to wheel there with Ralphless. Well, can they who's going to hang on to the podium position? A little bit of a tyre touch there, a little bit of a kiss between the tyres, but all good at this point. The Aston Martin driver then trying to take a little bit of slipstream, takes the fastest line. Has he got a run? He has not. Can he take it late on the brakes into the final corner? Where am I? Lecom even. Bear with me, getting a little bit ahead of myself there, and still stuck behind the AlphaTauri as it stands. for Leaders Grand Prix. Rory Boss is trying to close that gap and challenge Flicks, but he's running out of time to do it. If he's going to do it and manage it, he's got to do it in this last part of the Grand Prix. East Grove closing and closing on Raffles, can't make a move, looking in this final sector of the Grand Prix as they come round for the final time. I'm Zach down in last place, but without any penalties, looking to jump up 1, 2, yeah, look, he should gain 2 positions there and jump up to 5th place, knocking Diego and Deborah down a position apiece. Can he do anything on this last time? East Grove in the Aston Martin going for the AlphaTauri driver, going down at his last chance on the brakes down into the bus stop chicane. He's got no more ERS to use, and late on the brakes. Can he do it? He's managed it. Can he make it stick? Can he hold the line? A little bit of a rub there. Raffles picks up another penalty, and East Grove there pushing and pushing, gave him the squeeze and takes the final place on the podium this evening. There we have it then. Flicks takes a back-to-back victory after the first round victory, takes another one again today. Gaga there taking the game's driver of the day. Obviously started in last place, it made up the most positions. However, wow, that I honestly have to give my driver the... Wow, I can't give a driver of the day. I've got 2 drivers that I thought were absolutely outstanding. Flicks coming through the field, and East Grove, believe it or not, on his strategy to get into 3rd place, and was tough there, and tough right up to the end. Rory Boss a little bit unlucky earlier on, but managed to fight his way back through the field. All 3 drivers certainly deserve to be on the podium tonight, and just waiting on final confirmation of the standings. Flicks will double his points lead in the drives to take a 50 points at the top of the table. Rory Boss there 18 points, which will be 19 there with the fastest lap as well. 1:45.395 fastest lap in the end there. East Grove in the Aston Martin in 3rd place, rounding out the podium. Raffles in the AlphaTauri picking up first point for AlphaTauri in the season so far, and Diego there in 5th, taking a double top 5 for the Aston Martin team. Great points there. They will now pull ahead of Williams in the constructors table. Deborah in P6 in the Alfa Romeo. I'm Zach. Final points finisher. No, he's not. In fact, takes P7. Final points finisher. Gaga was included in those points, and will finish and round out the standings in P8. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to stand in for commentary for Tier 1 of Continental F1's Season 1 Race 2 at Belgium this evening. From next week I will be racing in Tier 2, so it will be an onboard for myself. I'll also be commentating DFRL League's Division 1 on a Monday night 8 PM, and I will also be racing from a onboard perspective of myself in SWG's Tuesday night league as well. So plenty coming up. Please like and subscribe. There will also be other streams going on in the way of Call of Duty and other things over the coming weeks. But thank you very much for watching, and look forward to racing with you in the coming weeks rather than commentating. Good night.